She would take her shoes off, throw them to the audience. La la deo. And then she put the YouTube videos, black and white. Da da deo. She'd take her gold chains, throw them, rip her shirt off.
I need to see this. Go, Jamie, young Jamie, bring up La Lupe.
La Lupe, 19. I mean, she was a freaking crazy bitch. She can't. My mom was friends with her all along, but later on, I grew up with her son. We were young kids up in like Spanish Harlem, and I would go up there and visit them. And she was crazy. They even did a one-woman show.
There she is?
Watch, La Gigi. Watch.
La Lupe, the queen of Latin soul.
Look at this crazy bitch.
Wow. Is it okay to play it? Can you hear it? I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. Somebody must own this, right?
Starts throwing her rings, her shoes.
She throws at rings?
She just throws whatever's closest to her. Look at her.
She just gets crazy.
Gets crazy.
What is it about Latinos, Latinas? What is it about Latin people? What is it about Spanish people that makes them so passionate and crazy and hot-blooded? And what is it? Is it genetic? Is it cultural?
It's got to be genetic. It's got to be genetic.
You think so?
When you get 10 Cubans together or 10 Italians together, Greek, the volume goes up. We're all from the same. Something has to be. Something. The volume goes up automatically. Old Sicilians, the volume goes up, man.
What is it?
And then you have the Spanish thing that is just freaking nuts. Listen, man, right out in the open right now, I'll say it. I'm as Cuban as can be, born in Cuba. I don't mess with Cuban women. I don't mess with Spanish women. I just don't. I love them to death. You talk to a lot of Jewish people, guys, they'll say, I love being a Jew, the whole thing. I don't mess with Jewish women. They just don't. You grew up with your mom. You know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get. You think about your mom and whoever put up with her shit. You know, your mom's Sicilian, old school. You know, it's different, man. They yell, they scream. You don't want to put up with that.
My mom was pretty calm. Her mom was a yeller, screamer.
Yeller, screamer. Yeah. If there's a problem, sweet, the Saints get called. Once the Saints get called, you got a problem. What did I do to deserve this? But no, I can't. It's too much. It's just too much, man. Too much passion. The shoes come off. People getting yelled at. I don't dig it.
People throwing at each other. Yeah.
But you get those spicy Latinas, you know, zeroed in, and you get them where they're fucking savages. If you control that into sex and all that, it's fucking probably savagery. Like I said, I've been with one Spanish girl, and I moved on.
Enough.
I got left back. That's how good the pussy was.
I got left back in school?
7th grade, got left back. I stopped going to karate. I stopped going to church. And I was just dry humping her and feeling her tits. Can you imagine if she gave me that monkey in the 7th grade? I would have been fucking Walking Dead.
Do you remember how overwhelming it was the first time you were with a girl?
Overwhelming.
Like, you'd never had any sort of feeling like that in your life, and now it's just overwhelming. It's completely overwhelming. Like,
and then you have two sets of friends. You have the logical friends, and then you have animal friends when you're 13. So I had friends that would go, that's nice. Where you guys going to go to a movie? And then you have the fucking heavy-duty animal. What are you going to do? You know?
You doing the finger motions.
Yeah, they're like, what are you going to do? You going to fucking grab her and make out with her right in the... They just tell you what to do. You're lost. You're completely fucking lost when you're 13. But how great is it to fall in love and hold hands and go to the movies and go to get a slice of pizza?
When I was in 13, I lived in this place called Jamaica Plain, and it was like it's kind of becoming more gentrified now, but at the time it was kind of sketchy. We had some kind of crazy neighbors. With this one kid, his name was Paulie Hudson. He lived right next door. Paulie Hudson was my age. We were both like 13, but he was like 30. He was like a 30-year-old 13. He knew a lot of shit. And I remember one time he was talking about sex. I hadn't even come close to sex. I don't even know if I had kissed a girl. Like maybe, like a little peck or something like that at 13. Paulie Hudson probably had 100 girls by then. I'm not kidding. This kid was an animal. And we were talking, and he goes, somehow or another, it got on the subject of how a penis enters the vagina, how it gets in there. And he was telling me it goes up. You go up in her. And I go, you go up in her? And he goes, you ain't never fucked a girl, have you? I'm like, no, I definitely haven't. Like, I did want to admit it, I'm sure, but it was freaking obvious. I didn't even know that you went up. I thought it went straight in.
We all do. I just found that out now, and I'm 53. I didn't know it went up and anything.
I literally thought I could never figure it out in my head because I was like, well, I kind of know where the vagina is. Like, how could it work going straight through? It doesn't make any sense. But that's literally what I thought. I thought you went straight in. I thought it was like a belly button. Like
the thoughts you have about sex as a young man or a young woman got to be, you don't know.
Yeah.
You can't figure out why they do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so confused because you didn't have any of those thoughts 2-3 years ago. Like you're 10 and you're just thinking about comic books and, you know, all the stuff you think about when you're 10. You know, what do you like to do? You like to go fishing or something. You know, you're just hanging out with your friends. And then all of a sudden you're 13 and your dick is hard all the time. And you're so confused. And when you're around girls, they hug you and you're like, whoa. Your body's just overwhelmed. The smell of their hair and just being around them is so attractive. And you're like, holy shit, what is this?
First time you sneak up behind a girl, you're behind and you smell her hair or something, you're emoted. You get like an anxiety attack. Like, what the fuck is this? He's that close to you. Or they touch you. And then you have did you have somebody who broke sex down for you?
No.
Like we had a dude in my neighborhood that always wore a towel. His name was Puerto Rican Nelson. And he lived in the back of a thing, and we go to him. It started with him fixing our bicycles, and we evolved with him.
Wow.
So we went from playing baseball on the street, and he would come out. He was a bartender at night. He would come out and throw balls with us and wiffle ball. And that's the guy you go up to and you go, hey, man, can we talk to you tonight? Because first he introduced us to weed. Right? He's like, you guys smoke weed? And we're like, nah, we never. And then he sold us like 7 joints for $5. So he became our dealer. And then the next level was girls. So we asked him, what do we do about girls? And he would like yell at us, you guys never fucked. What kind of little fags are you? You know, he would just fucking say a bunch of shit. And then it got to the point where we'd have like clinics at his house. Like we go, can we come over tonight? Yeah, it better be quick. What time? 7:30. We come over and we go, Nelson, we have to take this girl out. What do we do? And he'd break it down. Take it to the movies, you pay. But then you want it more, you know?
Right.
Nelson, what do we do? And he's like, all right, I'll teach you about sex. Come around to my window tonight about 8 o'clock. I'm going to fuck my girlfriend. I'll let you listen. like that. Creepy shit. And we actually went over there at 8 and listened. and then we would ask him about cum. Like, what's cum do? And he would tell us it pregnates the girl. He was like, in the 70s, there wasn't no sex education at schools, dog. So you had to get it where the fuck you got it.
Right.
So you didn't have that in Boston? Absolutely.
I didn't have any uncles like that or friends like that.
Paulie Hudson?
No, he made me nervous. I tried to avoid him. It was too street.
It was
for
too
me.
real.
He was too street for me. That kid. There was a couple kids like that. They were too street for me. I was like, oh, that's when I like really realized that I need to learn how to fight. When I moved to Jamaica Plain, because I was just super nervous. These guys would pick on me, and I had no idea what to do. Like if anything went down, I had no idea. Like my stepdad was never into violence. Nobody ever explained to me how to even punch or hold your hands up correctly. I was like, oh, I got to learn something. So that's when I started getting into karate, and I was into movies before that. And I'd taken like a kung fu class or something like that once when I was like maybe 8 years old when I lived in San Francisco. But I really no martial arts to speak of. In this neighborhood, I was like, fuck, these kids are scaring the shit out of me.
Now, where was this?
Jamaica Plain.
In New York?
No, this is Boston. This is a suburb of Boston. Not a suburb, really. It was like it's a city area, but it's just, at the time, it was at least just kind of a poor neighborhood. But apparently now they have some nice bars and restaurants, and, you know, housing prices are so expensive. Someone takes a chance on the outskirts and they start pushing those bad neighborhoods away. They start building up in them, and they become gentrified. You can get a nice house in a nice neighborhood for, you know, a good deal. So a lot of people, you know, that's the giant problem with New York right now. People just keep talking about it in Brooklyn. It's just Brooklyn's just being bought. Really, it's so expensive to live in Manhattan. Have you ever tried to look at like real estate? Have you ever like fantasized, maybe I'll move to New York for a couple of years like Ari Shaffir? You ever thought about doing something like that? I have. I thought about it and I looked at like housing prices. You're like, what are you talking about? That's not $5 million. That's an apartment. How is that $5 million? Do you have a yard? Is there something I'm missing? Like, how the fuck? What the fuck is this? It's apartments. It's an apartment. But they're stupid expensive. Like regular rent. People, like, they were talking to me about their regular rent. They were talking like $3,500. I was like, what? Like a regular comic. Like not someone who's doing great, not like a Jim Norton or someone like that. Just a regular comic who's got a 1-bedroom apartment. I was like, holy shit! How the fuck do you pay that?
That's heavy. It's a heavy tariff, brother.
It's heavy to live in that city.
For me to afford to live in New York, I gotta live down the shore.
Would you do that? Do you think you would go down the shore, or do you think you'd go Long Island?
I would go down the shore because I'm familiar with it.
Right.
I would go like Route 17, Marlboro, around there. And they got Chinese restaurants, got old school Italian places down there. I've seen them.
Doesn't Artie Lang keep a place down there? Doesn't he have like a?
Yeah, I think he's got
like
one
a beach
there
house?
in Hoboken. Yeah.
Is in Hoboken?
He has a house. He has a condo, an apartment in Hoboken.
Right. I think he's got a place down the shore.
And then he has a place down the shore.
Yeah. I still do a lot of Bob Gonzo gigs down there.
Absolutely. And this isn't right down the shore. This is a little away from where everybody goes.
Right.
This is up from Tom's River and Seaside and Belmar and Manasquan. This is Marlboro. It still takes you off the 34, 35. You still got to drive a little bit to see the ocean and shit. Like I just had a friend that lived there, and I liked the neighborhood. I liked how the neighborhood was. They had an old school Italian delis. You walk in, stinky cheese,
I love
salami,
those places.
blood salami, all that stuff. Tongue hanging upside down, wet mutts with water, you know.
Let me ask you this: Frankie Edgar's got to be the king of Tom's River.
Yeah.
He's the king, right?
King.
That's his place.
I haven't been there
He
in
made me say
20
Tom's
years.
River on a pay-per-view once.
Really?
Yeah. It's like after he won, say Tom's River. And I was like, Tom's River? Shit.
Tom's River is next to Seaside.
Is it?
Yeah, like close to Seaside, Lavalette, if I remember correctly. Because every time I'd be in Seaside, I was in Tom's River.
Right.
I used to go to Tom's River. What you do is you go down there and you put on some nets. You put those nets, like the kids I used to go down there, we'd stop by Tom's River, there was a spot, and you drop nets off. And then you go eat, and you come back, and you pull out those crabs.
Ooh.
Then they would go home and make a sauce with the fucking crabs, with
Whoa.
that fucking Katrina water.
That's the thing, right? The sauce with crabs. You don't really get that out here.
No, it's very tough to make. Like, I don't know how to make it. I just saw them do it. I wouldn't even try because I wouldn't trust how to, but they would just take the crabs and put them
Yeah.
in whole. And
They would boil the crabs in the tomato sauce. Remember
tomato
that?
sauce. And they like, I guess the shell breaks. I don't fucking know how they get the flavor, the meat.
I'm trying to remember if they pulled the meat out or if they left the claws in sometimes. It seems like sometimes they just left the claws and everything in, right? And you would have to get it out afterwards. You'd have to suck it out afterwards.
Suck it out, break the shit.
Yeah. You don't see that. It's pretty rare with like a red sauce. You'll see it a little bit in a nice fancy Italian restaurant.
As a special of the day,
Yeah.
somebody comes in with those crabs. Oh, we have some nice crabs for you.
There was a place that was a real good place that was in West LA. It was real good, especially when it opened up. It was called Il Grano. And I think it just went under, unfortunately. But this guy, the chef was an artist, man, and he made this squid ink pasta with a crab sauce, like a light tomatoey crab sauce, where it was I don't know which kind of crab it was. Anyway, Dungeness, that's what it was.
Jiminy
Christ, it was spectacular. It was like this black ink pasta that was cooked just perfect, so you chew into it. It's not mushy. It doesn't just dissolve. You like, it's got a little pop to it as you bite into it, and the crab, with the sauce, it was one of my favorite dishes of all
Now,
time.
what's the crab we get in Jersey?
Excited.
What's
I think
the
it's
crab?
Dungeness, isn't it?
Is it Dungeness?
I don't know. Blue crabs in Maryland, right? Isn't that? I don't know
crabs.
shit about crabs. I should
Me
probably
neither.
shut the fuck up.
Because whenever I go to like Texas, I get Dungeness crab with the salad.
And is Florida the place where they have those king crabs, or Alaska? But then there's that other big one. Is it a rock crab?
Rock crab.
The ones with the big ass fat claws. What are those? Stone crabs.
Stone crab.
Yeah,
That's down
stone
Florida,
crabs,
right?
right. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
in
yeah.
Florida and Texas, I think. I'm not sure.
That's a get drunk sort of move.
Beers.
You eat
break
those
'em
things,
open.
yeah. You eat those things and you drink a shitload of beers, and your uncle gets drunk and says stupid shit, and you wind up getting out of there.
But it's crazy because as a child, I could eat lobster. I could eat any fish. Squid, ink. The one I could not eat was crab growing up.
Why
I'd
not?
get sick right off the bat. I don't know why. And somebody said it had something. That crab has something that will make you sick. I didn't start eating crab till maybe 15 years ago. I couldn't eat a crab. I like the sauce. I could take the sauce, but but I had a iodine. Iodine. Somebody said that's what it is. It's heavy in iodine. I don't know if it's true. I don't fucking know what's in food or not. But for years I couldn't eat it. I started eating crab again Tuesday nights at Miyagi when we used to do comedy there, and they used to lip sync in there and shit. One day I had one of those stone crab rolls, and I didn't get sick, so I started eating it again.
Wow.
But for years I get sick off crab every time. Anything else could go down. Crabs, clams, whatever. I just went to Boston, and I went to Legal Seafoods, and I got those big fucking clams every day. I'd inhale 12 of them. Jesus. A little horseradish, a little, oh my God, those things are fucking delicious. Because you get the steamers with the tails and shit.
You don't like those?
I love those.
You're making a face like you didn't like them.
The steamer's rough when you're eating that tail. You
Dip it in butter. Dip those in butter.
I had those the first day, and then I said, wait, I'm going to switch it up to those big clams.
Cherry necks, right?
Cherry necks.
Those are good.
Those are very good.
I think I prefer them over oysters.
Really? The cherry necks?
Yeah.
I
They
never
have
had
more
oysters.
snap to them.
Oysters don't work for me either.
The clams have more snap when you're eating them raw. It's interesting because we never thought about that as that being sashimi. You know, you're just getting clams or you're getting oysters, but it's raw fish. It's raw seafood. You know, I mean, it really is. How is that any different than, you know, getting raw scallops at a sushi place? It's kind of the same. That is a weird thing that we just cook. We cook almost everything. We cook fish, but there's spots where you can go where they don't cook it.
It's fucking delicious.
It's very good. They just give it to you raw.
You go to Alaska ever?
Yeah, I've been to Alaska.
You get the halibut up there, like when you get the.
I haven't done that like where it's fresh and you eat it raw.
Yeah. Two different worlds, man.
Halibut sushi is really good. I would imagine if you got it like right off the fish, it would be amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's weird that we have these sort of rules, like as far as like food preparation, and it just changed with sushi. Like think of this country up until sushi. Like no one was serving raw fish anywhere until what? I mean, what year did sushi come out? The 80s or something?
70s. I remember Japanese restaurants in New York City. I don't remember sushi.
But sushi's
sushi
a
blew
thing.
up. I didn't try sushi till Seattle, like 95. I stayed
Really?
away from it, yeah. But once I was in, I was fucking all in.
I definitely remember sushi when I was a kid. I remember it from when I was like 18, 19 years old. I remember that. So it had to be before then. So, man, maybe it was like the 70s. If you think about it, culinarily speaking, if you could do that, that's a long time.
What,
With
making
no sushi. A long time in this country. All those years with no sushi. And then all of a sudden, sushi.
Now, you've been to Japan?
Yeah.
And is the sushi different in Japan?
I don't really know. I couldn't say that honestly because I went to a couple places. I didn't go to a lot of places. You know, we were only there for the UFC, so it was pretty in and out. But the sushi that we found there was like, you know, it was, you're in a Japanese restaurant. It has a totally different feel because you're in Japan. I mean, you're in Japan. The people can barely speak English if they speak English at all. The menus are all in both Japanese and English, which is pretty cool. It's one of the cool things about traveling. A lot of people speak English, so there's a lot of places you can go where you can at least sort of get by. They speak enough English so you can get by, and that's the case. It's a weird thing, man. With Japan, it's like it's a totally different world. Like when you go to Japan, like their culture is so interesting. The way they choose to behave, like collectively, is so interesting. They're super polite. They have giant crowds of people on the streets, and there's no issues. Everybody like walks by each other with no problems. It's like it seems like even though it's an accelerated culture, you know, obviously they get a lot of shit done. They make a lot of things. They have giant businesses, and it's a small place. If you look at how tiny it is, and how many people are stacked in there, but they're super polite. Really. I mean, it's amazing how little crime, how much order you have, and then every now and then you have these dudes who've come from other countries and decided like, oh, this is an easy pickings place. When we were there, we were walking to a restaurant and we ran into these African dudes who are trying to get you to go into these massage places. And they're like super aggressive about it. And you're like, whoa, this is interesting. So you have all these polite Japanese guys, and then these really like slick, streetwise dudes have moved into spots, and you could see them sort of work in these places, but they're in Tokyo, which is, overall like just really, really polite. It's interesting. It's really interesting. Apparently, I didn't experience it, but apparently, they have they really, especially the older folks, do not like white people. They just are not really into Americans being around.
We bombed them.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, you think they're gonna forgive us that quick?
We don't think about that. In our generation, we don't think about that.
That's why I don't eat Vietnam food for a long time. I'm like, we just fought them. They want to poison us. You want to go down and eat Vietnamese and egg rolls? They just fucking poison us. I would poison you.
Yeah.
It's funny how the menus, like what we think Chinese, that's why I asked you, because what we think Chinese food is here is completely different over there because it gets Americanized, and the same thing goes for sushi. Bob Sapp told me that when we were shooting The Longest Yard. He said the sushi was more a little primitive over there. Like they'll come out with a fucking octopus, that shit like that.
Well, there's a lot of places that'll do that. Jamie, I need a cup.
When
You want that one?
no. Sure.
All right, I'll use this one.
When I was watching something on food, and they were talking about a place in Japan where you go get some type. It's a place where they only serve food that has it's an aphrodisiac.
Only?
Like it's bull's balls and something's eyeballs or something. So you go in there to get tuned up for a date. Like you go in there, like when you go to El Paso, Texas, okay? If you go towards the end of El Paso, Texas and get Mexican soup, like Yucatan fish soup, there's a couple heads in there with the eyeballs looking right at you. That you wouldn't find that here in California. They'd have a freaking heart attack. But once you get more of those towards the country itself, they start showing their culture. Like, we don't know nothing about bull's balls. It's something to do with bulls. And how they put it in a soup or something. It's a special of the day. And the women can eat it also. But it just becomes something different. That's why I was asking you about the food.
Well, the one place that we went to, we went to at least 2 sushi places, but one place we went to was supposedly a great place. I think Bourdain might have recommended it to me. Name drop. But when we went in there, it was just same stuff that you get here. Really fresh. Really, it was right out of the ocean, I'm sure. But that's the same thing here. We share the ocean. A lot of the same fish.
But the Japanese fish people, Japanese sushi places only buy from Japanese fishing guys. They keep it. Like my buddy sold fish back east, and I used to say to him, "You don't sell to the Japanese people?" Nope. It's well known at that market where the mafia ran.
Oh, really?
When you go there in the mornings, you see the Italians, you see the white, the Irish, and the Japanese people, because they have different types of fish and what they do with it, I think.
I'm sure. They have that poison blowfish,
But
right?
they tell you not to eat sushi on Mondays and some other day because the fish is old.
Oh, really?
So they always say the fish order comes Tuesday or something, and Thursday, that's when you get sushi. Don't eat sushi. I don't know. It's some one day.
How long can you keep sushi before it's, like, terrible? If you had to guess. If you buy a big piece of tuna, how long before you have to serve that? I can't imagine it would be very long.
Very long, no.
Like a few days at the most.
I don't trust fish and I don't trust pork a lot of times. You got to be careful with those two. Those two, just a little slight in the cooking, and you're in the hospital, Jack.
Not so. Domestic pork isn't so much anymore, but it used to be for sure. Freezing fish for 24 hours, allowing it to thaw in the refrigerator, reduce harmful bacteria, making the fish safer. Oh, I see. That's interesting. So they Oh, this is interesting. Fish for making homemade sushi should be purchased from a seamonger, not a local grocery store. That's interesting.
What's a seamonger?
Seamonger is a dude who goes and buys it straight off of the boats. And he only has it, he has it that day. There's a guy I used to train with in Revere who was a seamonger. He would come and take Taekwondo in my class. And this dude had a truck, and he would drive his truck to the boats and, negotiate a price and buy fish and then deliver that fish to restaurants. Like, that was his thing. It's really interesting, man, because we talked about it. And, he was telling me what a grind it was, like how much work is involved and what he does. I mean, he just works. He was getting up early in the morning.
3 in the morning, you put an answer. What you tell you go to like 20 restaurants and you go, listen, I have salmon, I got calamar, and I got yellowtail.
Yeah.
Right? That's my freaking shit.
Yeah, you pull up in a
let's
truck.
Let's say you're a calamari restaurant.
Right.
And you sell 25 pounds a day of, fry, like where I grew up, Rudy's. Rudy's is basically a calamari restaurant. People go in, that's the appetizer. They buy 50 pounds a day. They probably got 3 different guys they go through.
Wow.
And Chris was one of them. He was Italian, they're Italian, know how to cook it. So he would go over he had a great job for years, man. And you know what happened? He got smart. And that's what happened. He got smart. When he kept it simple, his was very easy. He went to restaurants. He said, this is what I have really good. And he gave him a card with a phone number. He got up at 3 in the morning. He pressed the machine. And this is Joe from Rogan's. Let me get 25 pounds of calamari and 10 pounds of yellowtail. So all he had to do now is add up. So he would get your 10 pounds of squid, his 20 pounds, his 30, and say, all right, I need 100 pounds of squid. He would go down there, and there's people actually cut a deal for that. You know what? I want this a pound. Take 100 pounds. I'll give it to you for this. His money changed every day. His money changed every day. So once he'd go to the boat, buy it, and then he'd deliver it, and that was it. No overhead, no real insurance, no freezers, no nothing. Anything he had left over, that's what he took home to his family to cook. What happened was he went partners with a guy, got a freezer. They stocked up on the fucking food. They stocked up on the fish. New York had a power outage. He lost 60 grand. That was the end of everything. He lost 60. The partner lost like 80 because they went out and got Gavones and spent all this money on wholesale. You and I both know that's a daily thing.
Yeah.
That's a daily thing. You've been making a living for 10 years on a daily. Now you want to think about the future and buy a bunch of fish. And that's the night that, like a week later, the power went out when he moved into his warehouse.
Jesus
they had to go there in
Christ.
the middle of the night and fish, ice things. You got to take stuff out and ice them.
Jesus. Yeah, they didn't have such good insulation back then either. How long was the power out for?
Like 12 hours that time in New York. This was like 10 years ago.
They have coolers now that keep things, like they keep ice for 7 days outside. Have you seen these coolers?
No.
They're crazy. There's a bunch of different really high-end coolers, and most of it was started, at least to my knowledge, by this company called Yeti. And Yeti coolers, they make these like outdoor coolers that people use when they go camping or something like that. And they're real thick. And you put ice in those fucking things. You close the lid, open that lid in 7 days, there's going to be ice in there. It's crazy. The insulation properties of these things are nuts. They have a seal, like you pull down these rubber straps to seal it in. They're not cheap. They're fucking heavy as shit, too. They're really heavy. Most coolers are really light. These things are not light.
Yeah, if you want your ice to fucking stay for 7 days.
They're crazy, though. It's crazy what they can do. Like, they somehow or another figured out some insulation method that retains cold for a long time. But they didn't have that shit in the 70s. Imagine the ice house in Pasadena. Used to be an ice house. Used to be a place where they would deliver ice, and you would go and get a chunk of that shit for your ice box. And you would have an ice box in your refrigerator, and that's where you keep your milk and whatever you're going to eat that day. But you went to the market every day.
For ice.
Yeah. You went to the market for ice. You went maybe ice every few days, but you went to the market every day for food. Like you didn't just have like a refrigerator. You open up, pull out packages of meat, packages of chicken, like that. Nobody did that. This is really rare. Like when there was no refrigeration, think about that. That's not that long ago. For most of human history, there's been no refrigeration. That's why people used to go to war for salt, Joey. They used to go to war for salt, because salt was how you could keep your food fresh. You'd have to take a piece of meat and cover it with salt. Cover it completely. And that would keep bacteria from growing on it. That's how they took care of their meat. That's like they would salt their fish when they would go to sea. Salt would be so valuable. It's like there was salt wars in the world. For fucking salt, which is worth nothing now. Just crazy. Like if you went all in on salt back then, you're like, dude, people are going to war for this shit. And then today you went to a fucking diner and they have little packets. You could just take them. Like you could take them, go to In-N-Out Burger. There's a whole box. How many can I take? You take as many as you want. You can take as much salt as you want. What are you fucking crazy? You'd call your Viking friends. They're giving salt away at the burger place. You would just come in there and steal all the salt. Salt back then you'd kill people for salt. Because that's how people, like, it would allow you to keep food longer, which is insane. Like that was like, imagine going to war for refrigerators. You know, if like Japan had the refrigerators and we didn't, and there was a war to try to get refrigerators because the only way you would keep your food longer. That's literally what people were doing. They were going to war for salt.
When you watch the honeymooners, they drained their refrigerator. Now I figured out why.
Yeah, it was an ice cube.
She would pick the thing up and drain it in the honeymooners, and that's why. They probably put an ice cube in there, they close it.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. Okay.
Well, the honeymooners, though, was electrical, so they probably did have refrigerators, but a lot of those things would freeze up. The ice boxes, you'd have to defrost them. Do you remember that?
Yes.
They
yes.
would freeze. Your freezer would literally be like, the inside of it would be like a Yeti's
fucking ice cave.
Yeah, like a Yeti's ice cave in a monster movie. Wow.
And now you have freezerless freezers. They call them something. Your freezers don't iceless freezers or something. Right.
You don't have to defrost them.
Right.
But we used to chip at them with a screwdriver.
You had to go in there and hit with the hammer.
Yeah, you remember that?
You know, when I was a kid, I used to use my air conditioner year round. Like my mom used to go, "Are you fucking crazy?" I'd put the air conditioner in my room year round, and it would get a brick of ice on it. I'd have to let
Wow.
That's what happens when you put it on in the winter. I guess the inside would freeze. I'd have to fucking turn it off and let it come down a little bit. The inside would fucking freeze.
Remember those old school heaters that would make noise when they were starting up, like clink, 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 clink? Those radiator heaters. You would hear them. They'd go tap, 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 tap. It was this hot chunk of metal in your house, and if you leaned on it, it would sear your skin like a George Foreman grill, and that's how you kept your fucking house warm. Remember those goddamn things? Those are ridiculous.
Those metal things?
Yes.
Those heavy... You ever pick one of those motherfuckers up?
Fucking
God
heavy
damn.
things. Those radiators, man. Those water heaters. Hot water would go through them, and they would heat up. And that's what you use to keep your house warm. Those things were ridiculous.
And you put a box over them, and even if you sat on the box by mistake, you fucking burn.
Yeah, and the only thing in the fucking house at all would be like within 15 feet of that thing.
And they always put them under the window.
Exactly.
They would put the heater under the fucking window. Like, I never figured that out. So you'd stand there and get burnt, but there was like a draft or something.
Yeah, they didn't have anywhere else to put it. You couldn't put it in the middle of the room.
I forgot all about those fucking things. You know, you get like a house, like the last house I had in Studio City had no fucking heat.
What?
When they built it had no fucking heat.
Because they didn't think people in California need heat?
No.
That's
those
hilarious.
Burbank houses, those old houses, they didn't have heat, or they put a little box, like you're only going to use it. Let me tell you something. When you come out of the shower, you need heat, Jack. I don't give a fuck who you are. When you come out of that shower and you turn that water off, you need heat.
That's a trick they do in Topanga Canyon. There's a lot of houses in Topanga Canyon that don't have air conditioning. Like, you don't need it. Maybe you need it 1 or 2 days a year.
Fuck you. I don't live off that breeze. That's people in Venice. People in Venice will invite you over. Meanwhile, you're melting there. Sweat's coming out of you. And they're like, we don't have air. We leave the windows open. It's so fuck you. You should have told me this on the invite. I wouldn't have came. We have no air. We live by the I wouldn't have came. I want air. I got to have something. You got to hit me with something.
Some people like to have like a thin sheen of perspiration on them all the time.
No, man.
Shiny.
You got to have a little bit of air, something to just something. I don't want my hands to freeze or nothing.
I know what you mean, man. I agree with you 100%.
You know, that's what works in Colorado. Like when I lived in Colorado, you leave your window open 1 inch and your house will fucking freeze to death in the winter. Just 1 inch. That shit don't happen here. That never happened here. I'm always fucking warm here. And these people who say, well, the breeze dries you, don't fucking do nothing for me.
Well, it's nice sometimes, but if it's 98 degrees in
No,
Malibu,
you got dick.
yeah,
You got dick.
and that happens. That happens. I mean, it only happens a couple days a year, but it happens.
But it happens the day you invite me over to the house to watch the fights or something. And that's the day I go fucking eat shit.
It just seems like, why would you have such a big, nice house and not have air conditioning? Like, I've seen people's houses, they're like, this is a nice house, man. You got a great house, but you don't have air conditioning. Is it a money thing? Is it an environment
they want to be
thing?
different and break my balls. They want to be different. That's what they want to do.
They want to be green.
They want to be different. I'm like, oh, we don't live off air. And then they start making excuses for air. Well, the something factor in there raises your cognition. What the fuck are you talking about? I just want to be comfortable a little bit.
Is air conditioning bad for you? I've never heard air conditioning's bad for you.
Well, these people will find something bad for it. There's certain people that find something. But look, I can't get a tattoo, Joe, because I can't see needles. But I'll tell you that off the bat. There's people that'll say they hate tattoos. Why do you hate? I just hate tattoos. No, you don't hate tattoos. You can't see freaking blood, so you can't get a tattoo. That's why you hate them. I just hate fucking needles. When I went to the doctor yesterday, she goes to me, all right, so I'm going to give you this steroid. I'm going to give you this for your ears. She goes, I'm going to give you a shot. And then she goes, no, I'm not. And she goes, I remembered the surgery. You're a fucking nightmare with needles and shit. When it comes to all that, they couldn't find the vein, this surgery. That's a fucking nightmare. 3 plugs, it drove me. I was ready to go home. Listen, if you don't find the vein this time, we go home.
Really?
Yeah, I'm done. You poked me 3 fucking times. Every time I faint. Let's do the wrist. Look at these fucking veins in here. Finally, she found the vein in my hand. Look at that. There's veins right there. I hate all that shit. Needles, blood. As soon as I walk into the doctor, he checks my blood pressure. Before I walk into a doctor, I could be 130 over 80. I walk into a doctor's office, it shoots up to 190 over 130.
Yeah, we always look at people who do drugs like intravenously, like that's next level. That's next level. You're shooting it up, like you're opening your vein with a piece of metal and you're injecting some liquid in there. Ooh, that's deep. Like you just threw all protocol out the window. That's why if you ever hear about someone who's like, he does coke. When someone says this guy does a lot of coke, I put him in this category. Crank. Someone goes, that guy smokes a lot of weed. I put him in that category. Crank. Someone goes, he shoots heroin. I go, oh, this motherfucker goes over here. This is a different category.
Whoa, let's slow something down. You know how much pain I had in my heart the first time I had to put something in my nose?
How much?
It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. I don't give a fuck what anybody tells you. I think about it now. It's horrible. You just made a big leap.
To being a guy who does coke.
The first time I put something in my nose, it wasn't coke.
What was it?
It was angel dust. It was THC crystal.
Christ.
It was, they called it THC crystal.
THC?
Crystal. That's what they called it.
But they didn't call it THC like pot. Crystal.
No, what you did in those days was there was a thing that you took a bunch of stems. You took a pound of stems. You got a pound of weed. You took those stems. You put them in a little bit of water and you boil it. The powder that goes to the end of the thing, they would scrape that up, mix it with some cutter, and then you could snort that.
Whoa.
That was the beginning. So that was okay. Okay, some THC crystal.
So what does that do for you? What does it feel like? Does it feel like edibles?
Feels like you smoke, yeah, feels like an edible. But they got hip, and they started putting angel dust and gorilla tranquilizers and, fucking pills. And next thing you know, I had a great time doing that. I'm not going to lie to you. I loved doing that.
Yeah?
Loved it.
So this is the snorting. I never heard about that. Snorting or smoking, essentially edible cannabis.
But it wasn't no edible cannabis.
It's totally different.
It was gorilla biscuits. All right? So you had 2 choices. You could either go down to like a place and buy, but for $10, you got 3 lines. When you're 16 and 15, each line is $3. Each line, we're high for 12 hours.
Wow. 12 hours.
Gone. 8 hours of heavy duty, like you're lost.
If you had well, it's hard to tell now because your tolerance is so high. But if you had to compare it to like an edible, it's like a 200 milligram edible?
Gone compared to an edible.
500 milligrams.
Gone. No.
Too cheap to choose.
It's just a different area. It's like taking something that you actually go to a different realm. It's not like doing an edible. Like I've done some edibles and I've gone to different realms. Don't get me wrong. But first couple times you do THC. Like one time I graduated high school. This is the tail end of my crystal career. I wasn't even doing it at the
crystal
time.
career.
Yeah, because I did crystal tea from I was probably 15, maybe 14 and a half, up to the point my mother died. Then cocaine took over. Then cocaine just said all that. There was no more acid. Cocaine came in that heavy in 1980. So before 1980, you were doing the pills and you were doing the fucking THC crystals and all that shit. But after the cocaine just swamped it. So in 82, I graduated I was working in the city for this bookie. And I went over one day and they go, listen, we're not going to do the horses today. My dad can't come if you want to hang out for the afternoon. So I said, fuck it, I'll just take the day off. And I'll never forget this. I went walking and I saw some girl. And I was walking into one of those spots to get reefer. I was going to get weed. My day was over. Let me get weed. I don't have to come back tonight from Jersey. And some black girl came up to me. It had to be 10 in the morning. And she goes, you want to split a tray? I said, sure. A tray was a $3 bag of angel dust. So you opened it up, and it was just a little line, and you took it and sprinkled it on your joint. They sold it right there at the reefer spot.
Whoa.
And you would roll it and smoke it. And I smoked that with her at 10. At 8 o'clock at night, I remember taking a bus over from being with her and going, I'm still fucked up. Like, now I could talk. But, you know, at the end of the day, because we smoked it, and then we just sat there and talked all day. And 3 hours in, she told me she was pregnant.
Whoa.
And that's when I go, pregnant? And she opened up her jacket, and I could see her belly.
Whoa.
I didn't know before that. I never forgot that.
Oh, man.
I never forgot that. But I remember going over the fucking bridge and going to a bar and going, if I'm still fucked up at 9 o'clock at night, what are her and that baby like?
Man.
That's fucking crazy.
That is fucking crazy. Wow.
We just went to a park and sat there and talked and read the daily news in the fucked up weather. I don't know if we went to eat. I don't remember what we did. We didn't have sex. Nothing like that happened. We just hung out all day. We were that fucked up.
That's the crazy thing about being born. You can't pick your parents. That kid just got a shit roll of the dice. His mom's doing angel dust. Anybody that gets, loses their perspective, that's a real perspective enhancer right there, that idea. That poor kid and that poor girl, that she's so fucked up, whatever happened to her, led her to become that kind of person that takes angel dust while she's pregnant. Fuck, man.
Oh, my God.
It's so weird. Like, we know things are bad for us, but the feeling it gives you feels so good, you want to do bad things to yourself. It's this little trick. It's like this bad thing to you that's piggybacked on a good time. It's like it gives you a good time. It's like, I'll give you a good time if you let me poison you. How much of a good time? Oh, you're going to remember a lot of fun times. I'm going to poison you, though. Okay? You're like, okay. I mean, I'll get off it eventually. Oh, yeah. You'll get off of it. Sure, for sure. I'm going to give you a good time. And it just latches a hold of you and poisons you, and you
But
let
how
it.
many poisons are there, Joe? From McDonald's to steroids?
Yep.
I mean, how many
Booze?
You want me to tell you what the worst poison I've
Cigarettes?
ever done is?
Yeah.
The worst.
The worst.
Right now. Cigarettes.
Really?
When I shot that special, I was smoking reefer outside. I didn't want to smell like reefer when I went in. There was a cop. And I took a cigarette from somebody, like a light, and I just took 2 hits off it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt it the next day.
Really?
Like, I'm like, this is hard. When you don't smoke for a long time, and then you smoke, you're like, oh, shit. Because I tell you what, Joe, I live on the deep end from time to time. I'll have a Dewar's and ginger ale on a flight somewhere, you know? An alcohol drink, those fucking run with me for 12 hours, bro. I don't drink alcohol like everybody else.
You've never been a big drinker.
No, but I like it. I like the taste of Dewar's and ginger ale. I like a Irish cream on the rocks, whatever the fuck it is. You know, I came in before. I was early, and I was looking through your whiskey thing, that Jack Daniels, the Sinatra. That smelled fucking tremendous.
Want to do a drink?
Not in a million years.
All right.
A drink affects me completely different than it affects anybody. I drink one of those, I can't drive home. I got to sleep in here.
Really?
I can't. I cannot drink and drive. It's against... Always hook me up like they're watching me.
Maybe that's why you don't like booze. It's like it has a stronger effect on you, maybe.
No, I don't like booze because I grew up in a bar and saw the different... You know, you and I have a common knowledge that I talked about the other day. I'm at a point in my life I can't take drunk people. But I'm going to be honest with you, I couldn't take drunk people when I was 20. I was just drunk and doing drugs, so I understood them. Now, when somebody comes up to me drunk, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's a hard time when you're sober and they're drunk and they're insistent on talking, because you're in two different frequencies and their frequency is very awkward to you, and they don't realize that they're being awkward because they're drunk. You know, it's part of the problem. So some people are great drunks. Some people, you know, they'll have a few drinks and you never notice a thing. They're just happy, having fun. Brian Callen's a good example of that. You ever see Brian Callen drunk?
No.
Even when he's drunk, he's just Brian Callen drunk. You know, he's just having fun. He's being silly. You know, he maintains his character. You know, some people don't. And there's certain people that they get drunk, and you have to talk to. If you're sober and they're drunk, it's like, wow, this is getting nowhere.
It's brutal.
You can't.
It's brutal.
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't understand that that's the big problem with being drunk is you know you're drunk, but you don't really know how you sound to sober people. There's just no way.
It's nuts.
No way you totally know how goofy you look. If everybody's drunk, you're fine. But if like one person's sober, you're like, oh, this is so stupid.
Yeah, but I realized how shitty I felt the next day off of half a cigarette. Like 3 puffs, I threw it away. Like the next day I could feel it in my body. I could still taste it. And, but while you're doing it, you have no fucking idea, while you're doing all that shit. How bad is coke for you? It's your central nervous system. It's while you're doing it, you don't give a fuck. Heroin,
Right.
Jesus Christ, it gets to your bones.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That was a great way that you described it. You're like, Joe Rogan, it's in your bones.
When you talk to an addict and say to them, how come you can't get off? They'll say to you, man, there's a pain, the withdrawal from heroin and even the Oxycontin and those pills, that synthetic heroin, they get to your bones, bro. Your bones start to hurt. I've spoken to different people. I never went through that with any drug, but I've spoken to people off of heroin. They kick heroin. It's a horror show. It's a week-long horror show of puking and that other convulsions. That's what you eat. It's just, and that I can't. I did heroin, but I snorted. The first time I put that powder in my nose, it fucked with me for a while. But I just put it in the back. You just put it in the back file. And then doing coke was another complete horror show for me because I didn't mind doing drugs. I just never wanted to do coke. But when I did coke, that was it. It's like the first time I missed a fucking credit. But like the first time I could make a credit card payment when I got divorced, it ruined me because it was against my principle who I was. Like, you always pay your fucking debts,
So, like, if you're doing coke, you feel like in yourself, like, wow, I'm letting myself down.
Yeah, once you put something up your fucking nose, you smacked yourself in the face at that point. Never mind shooting something in your vein. That is a complete...
Yeah, that's the next level.
That's, I had a friend for years that was hooked on it. I come into his house on Monday mornings. There'd be blood splatters on the walls from him missing the vein.
Oh, Jesus.
He would buy $100 worth of heroin and 8 ball of coke. He was doing a Belushi all weekend.
Oh, my God.
He would Belushi it all weekend.
That's speedball, right? That's like the coke and the heroin together, and it creates some sort of a weird effect.
It creates getting a tornado in your brain. You just pass the fuck out. This guy would be clean from Monday. He was brilliant from Monday to Friday. He could keep it together. I think Thursday night he would break down and do a little sniff just to keep him together during the week. But once Friday came, you wouldn't see him till Monday morning. And during the week, you would massage his veins. Like, I gotta massage him. I gotta get him going for the weekend and shit.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
And then he would switch. Like, how can you go from your arm to your toe?
I guess you have to.
Like, I can't find a vein, Joe. Hold on. Let me take my shoe off and shoot my toe. It's just the first guy I ever had friends with that did steroids. That was one of the most interesting nights of my life. We were doing coke. In the middle of everything, he just took off his shirt and started doing push-ups. And then he got up and he goes, look at me, what's different? I go, bro, you lifting? And he goes, no, I started doing steroids. And he started breaking it down to me. He was getting an addiction to steroids because he was going there every week and just shooting. Then he just went off a cycle. Then he just stopped breaking it up. He just was on a cycle year-round.
Wow.
But he was addicted to the needle going in his ass, and then he would shoot it with vitamin B. And he would tell me he could taste the vitamin B in his mouth. When you shoot coke, you can taste it in your mouth. Are you
Really?
Yeah. So
Whoa.
bam, you shoot it.
Now, shooting coke, how much different is that supposed to be than snorting it?
I have no idea.
But what about the people that do? I mean, it must be something crazy, right?
Birds of a feather flock together. I hung out with snorters. Once they talked about needles, that's when I go home. Once I see a needle, I go home. I don't sit in a room where there's a fucking needle because I can't sit still. Once I see that syringe, you don't want me around. I don't want to be there. I went to CVS a month ago, and they had syringes there They give you free syringes. I almost fucking died. I don't like them empty. I don't like them full. I don't like to see them. Those people that carry the fixes with them, they call them a fix.
Oh, like a kit,
and
yeah.
They have the spoon and the syringe and the
lighter and the needle.
And this kid,
their gear, right? Isn't that what they call it? Their gear.
I would ask him, like, so when you go over there, how do you shoot it? And he goes, we all stand around.
Ooh.
And we all pass the needle. This is 82 when you could pass a needle from one guy to the other and shoot D-ball and Deca and these guys were one needle to another. Then filling it with vitamin B and shooting it. They would go, why are we going to, because if, I guess, I don't know how the needle works. If you keep shooting, it gets dull.
Yeah, it gets dull.
So they would just take one needle and pass it between 9 guys.
Jam it into each other.
Just jam it into each other. First thing you got was
Christ.
hepatitis C. That's the first thing you got from that shit. That's just it.
Now, you get hepatitis C if you jam a needle into you that's been jammed into someone with hepatitis C, right?
I think so. But
So
you get it from sexual transmission also, correct?
Right. Have you ever thought about that? Like, I've thought about that before. Like herpes or, anything, warts. There had to be an original case. Like, there had to be one person that developed this. Like, how does that develop? I've always been curious. Like, how the fuck does, something like a herpes develop? Like,
All right,
at
so
one point in time, no one has herpes.
You had syphilis, and you blow a guy with, Spanish syphilis, and it becomes the herp.
They get together and collide.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And become
they
more
get
powerful.
worse and worse. Like right now, supposedly, all these diseases, they disappear for a while, then they make a comeback.
Yeah.
Something was popular last year again.
Measles.
Was it? No, sexually.
Oh.
Something came back last year that was popular 10 years ago. It came back. I don't know which one it was. Gonorrhea or something like that. Like, I got something. Like, I've always had something.
You got something right now?
Yeah, I've had it for years. Because at night I get itchy. I don't know what the fuck it is. As soon as I lay down in bed, I get itchy as a motherfucker. And when
Imagine if you have a long-running colony of crabs that just camped out in your
No,
sack.
but when I took a blood test years ago, they were like, did you have something? I had something. And I go, I don't know. And they go, you must have had something because they got the tail end. I had something. Like when I first moved to L.A., I had something. All those years in the road, you're going to get something.
Now, if you don't take antibiotics, if you get something like syphilis is what killed Al Capone, right? Like what happens if other ones, like gonorrhea? Does gonorrhea kill you?
I don't know.
Or do you just get better?
I don't know. I know.
If you had a guess.
I think eventually something's got to happen to you.
Can gonorrhea be fatal, and can you recover with no medication, Jamie? If you just do the Wim Hof method.
What's a Wim Hof?
Breathing, just. Just try to power through the gonorrhea. I don't know. I mean, syphilis kills you. I'm pretty sure syphilis kills everybody that gets
What's
it.
VD?
Venereal disease.
But that covers everything.
Well, it's weird because venereal doesn't sound like sex, but that's what VD is. VD is a sexual transmitted disease. When you think about someone having VD.
When I was about 17, my friend fucked his sister's best friend, and he got something.
He got VD.
He got VD, and we went there the next day, and there was a chick with fucking a Phantom of the Opera mark on her face. Dog, it was fucking crazy.
What was the mark on her face?
Like she had syphilis or something that started here. Like she had a cut in her lip, and she sucked the fucked up milk or something. And it ran. I'll never forget this. It's not even funny. It was really sad because I didn't know what she had. I just went there with my friend. My friend goes, you got to go in there with me, dog. I'm scared to walk in there. Whoa. I said, let's go. What's the big deal? They're going to give you pills, whatever. I didn't know. I wasn't sexually active at that age like he was. And we went in there while I was waiting for him, dog. This chick came in, did paperwork, and she turned around, and she had gotten something that started here. She had a cut or what's that when you have chapped lips or something? Mm-hmm. And all this was half purple and red. She sucked something bad. And after that, I was like, ooh, I got to be careful out there. It's a jungle.
That was the thing when we were kids. Someone has VD. She's got VD. Be careful. He's got VD. Someone having VD was like, whoa, you hear? Do you hear? Betty got VD. Whoa, that girl got VD.
There's a girl on Facebook that's friends with me from high school that he wouldn't get wet. So they used to call it a dry hump. Family in New Jersey, They used to call her Fairview, New Jersey.
That's so awful. That's so fucked up. People are so fucked up. People are so fucked up.
This girl was banging. This girl was banging, though.
So you'd have to like bring Vaseline or something?
Yeah, she was from Wayne, New Jersey, and she was banging. She moved to North Bergen like, and she was a sophomore, and she was dating a few guys. And things happened. Like I was friends with her. I knew she didn't like me. Like she just didn't like me for some reason. I didn't think the world of her either. And one night in '84, I'm at a bar, and this bitch comes in. I mean, banging. They also said she had some type of VD, so they called her Lori Jack. You know, like, she's got the Jack.
No, what is
remember
that?
AC/DC sang a song.
Oh.
She's got the Jack. So they used to call her name and Jack. Like, that was her name. Like, they just tormented this girl.
Oh.
And she dated, like a rock guy that had, like, long hair and
A rocker.
Shit. And one night I saw her. And
Rocky.
and she was banging Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
Banging. And I go, you live in North Bergen now? She's like, yeah, I didn't go to college. I'm a nanny. I'm a nanny, and she told me the guy's name. And I knew that guy. That guy had a massage parlor years earlier. The guy that she was being a nanny for. And I go, if she's his nanny, he's just thinking something's got to be wrong. She looked so good in that miniskirt. She disappeared like 1:30. And finally at like 3, I'm sitting and I'm like, what am I going to do tonight? And I had like a bag of Coke. I go, fuck it. I'm going to go get her. So I went this is how crazy I was. I went to the dude's house, who she told me. I knocked on the door. It was 3:15 in the morning. And he's like, Coco, what are you doing here? I go, I got to talk to Lori. There's something missing. He goes, hold on, Lori? And she came down, and she comes outside. He's got a robe on. She's got a robe on. And I look her straight in the face. I go, listen, I got like 2 8-balls in my pocket. Get dressed. Let's get the fuck out of here. And she's like, I can't. And I go, you have to. And we argued there for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I want to see. I want to do dirty things to you. I don't give a fuck about the VD or the Jack or the dry hump. I'm on fire. And she's like, well, give me 10 minutes. And how am I going to sneak out of here? I don't know. So I waited outside for her. She's like, I'll put Lou in bed and I'll run out. About 15 minutes later, I see her running out with her purse with like a bank deposit bag. She's like, fuck him. I can't take him anymore. Fuck him. We were on foot. It's 4:30 in the morning. I'm on Tunley Avenue in North Bergen. There's a bunch of those dirty hotels. So I'm like, oh, I got a score here. I got Coke. She's got money. I'm a fucker. I'm excited. We go back to a hotel. We finally register. It's like $30. They asked us if we wanted the jacuzzi in the room. It was one of those dirty hotels on Tunley as you go into New York City. We went in there. We walk in, and she goes, rule number 1, you are not going to fuck me. It's 5 in the morning. There goes my fucking. There goes this night. And all of a sudden she looks at me. She goes, well, if you could guess the color of my panties, I'll fuck you. And I'm like, okay. Red. And she goes, they're green, but good enough. We started snorting coke, eating ass. I mean, it was filthy. I woke up at 5 in the afternoon, and Doug Flutie was throwing that quarterback, that touchdown. In 1984 or 83, Doug Flutie, I was waking up. She was naked, ripped apart. I'm waking up, and Doug Flutie's throwing the touchdown. I got dressed and got the fuck out and never saw her again. Never said to, and I even robbed the money. I took everything. She pops up on Facebook about 2 years ago, and I'm like, Lori, how are you? She's like, fuck you, you fat all this shit. She's like, you left me there that night, but we had a good time. Yeah, we had a good time. And I will hit her back. I go, what color are your panties? And she goes, what's that supposed to mean? It's fucking tremendous.
Hilarious.
I knew she gave me something. She had something. But I didn't give a fuck. It was 84. Rock Hudson was dying. I didn't use a condom. I knew the consequences. I'm like, fuck it. So I knew I was going to get something, and I probably did. I got crabs after that over the holidays. Like, that was 84. I got crabs. 84, 85 season. I got crabs. I found out at a bathroom in Port Authority. I went to Port Authority to take a shit, and I pulled my pants down, and I'm sitting there reading the paper, and I see a crab. Like I saw something jump, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I had never heard it. Nothing. I went home and took my underwear off and got like a magnifying glass. It was over. It was all over me. They were all over the couch. I had to bring a bomb into the room, like one of those fucking bug bombs, and leave for 12 hours.
Did you really?
Oh, I crabbed up the whole fucking thing. It was crabbed up for like a month, dog.
Oh my God.
Lady next door knocked on my thing. I was living in Tenafly, New Jersey. Lady next door knocked. Do you have a bug problem? I'm like, no. I don't know what happened. Ever since you moved in here, there's been crabs.
Oh no.
Oh.
My dog had fleas when I was in high school. And you ever have a dog with fleas because the fleas get in the carpet? And they
got
had
the eggs or
They
something.
had like a flea collar that you'd put on your dog, but it barely worked. And then they had these flea drops that you put on them. The dogs would freaking hate it. He would squirt it on their fur, like at various spots, like right behind the neck, and then like in the middle of the back and in the lower back. And the dog would go fucking crazy and roll around the ground, try to get that shit off him. But if you didn't do it, your dog's going to get fleas, and we had carpet. So that means you have fleas. So when you were walking, I'd like in my bedroom, I'd be walking in my carpet, and I'd see a flea jump onto my leg. I'd be like, fuck. And once you have it, you just have it. You know, like, I mean, there was some carpet stuff that I used to have to shake down. So I shake down all this poison shit all over my carpet, and then you have to vacuum it up. But there was always one or two that survived, one or two gangster fleas that figured out how to fucking stay away from the powder and then figure their way right back onto your leg. And it was hard to get it off the dogs, too, because then they would just go hang out with other dogs. They'd get it again. And even if you cleaned them up and killed all the fleas, they got them again. You could see the eggs, like you would be cleaning them, like you wash your dog. At the base of their hair, you'd find these little eggs.
Yeah, you could see it. It's
fucking gross.
That's what was going on in your
parasites.
carpeting. They would just drop and shell over your carpeting.
Yep. Yeah, that's a giant issue if you have dogs. I had a dog once that had distemper. Caught distemper from a dog. It was so sad. He was a puppy, and he would go into convulsions. He would have like seizures. He was just a little puppy. It was so sad. We had to wind up putting him down. And we put him down, man. My veterinarian, this is how good a guy this guy was. He was crying. He cried afterwards, you know, about how hard it is. I mean, the guy just loved dogs, loved cats. And he just is so upset. So upset. It was really crazy, man. It was a weird moment that I'll never forget. He wound up dying in a car accident. Drunk driver. Yeah, drunk driver hit him. I never forget that. I was like, wow, that guy got killed by a drunk driver? That guy? He didn't make any sense. He was such a nice guy. But boy, did he hate marriage. Because I was young. I was like 26 when I first met him. You know? And he'd be like, you married? I go, no. He goes, don't get married. I'm like, okay. He just explained to me marriage. Guys who have been through hardcore divorces, man, they have a fucking way. They have a way of grabbing you and putting that urgency in you. Listen to me. Listen to me. Don't fucking do it. I'm like, okay, I won't do it. I won't do it.
There's nothing as bad as a divorce.
I would say death is probably worse. Some people, divorce is great. You know what the problem with a lot of fucking people is, especially a lot of dudes with money, is when you get married, your wife has money too now. Like, before you got married, you were the guy with money. So you had a bunch of money. And she's like, wow, I like this guy. He's got money. And then when you get married, guess what? Now she's got money too. Now she gets to recognize you for you. And so you're not as cool anymore because you're not just a guy with money. She's got money too. It's her money now. And she's like, God damn it, I'm going to take my share and get the fuck out of here. Like, all of a sudden, she's got your money. Like, what happened? What happened is, like, there's a bunch of things that happen when people get married, right? There's love, there's devotion, there's commitment, there's a beautiful bond that you guys share. But let's not get confused. Under the exact same rules, with the exact same words, I do, there's a lot of scamming going on. There's a lot of people getting robbed. There's a lot of legal extortion. There's a lot of legal stealing. There's a lot of really hot women who have no business fucking some old dude. There's a lot of really hot women that are like fucking some guy who's 70 years old, and they talk this dummy into marrying them with no prenuptial. They suck his dick for a couple of years and drop the kablooey on him. Blunk. And take a chunk. Just take a giant chunk of millions and millions of dollars. That happens too. I'm not saying it shouldn't happen, and I'm not saying it's not an interesting deal, that some people make, like the guy who married Anna Nicole Smith. Remember I used to have that bit about that guy? That was the same kind of thing. It was like, nothing wrong with it. Everybody knows what it is. But you can't, that's not the same. All marriages is not the same. So people that were upset about, gay marriage, there's gay people that legitimately love each other and they want to get married. You should be upset at this other shit. You should be upset that you could go to Vegas, high on coke, go through a drive-thru and get married. You can do that. They're not drug testing you. They take you to those drive-thru fucking wedding chapels in Vegas. You think they see if you're drunk? They don't give a fuck if you're drunk. You mean maybe you can get it annulled tomorrow if you are? I mean, maybe. I don't know. They don't give a shit. That's marriage, too. It's a bunch of different things. It's a goddamn contract,
Marriage is bad for somebody when they lose something. That's what it basically is. They lose a house. They lose money.
Yeah.
If you marry somebody and all of a sudden you go, hey, I don't want to be married no more. Me neither. See you tomorrow. Who's keeping the house? It's your house. Bye. Okay.
That's great.
Nobody would get angry.
Nobody would get angry.
It's when you lose something.
Right.
Or somebody cheated on you or whatever. I had no money when I got divorced. It wasn't even that alone.
So you're like, yay.
Yay. Oh, fuck yeah. When I could do comedy now and the whole thing.
Yeah.
But there was a kid involved.
Right.
And there's always something. See, that's when marriage sucks. I also told myself that for years. And it wasn't the marriage that sucked. Sometimes we don't put enough into the marriage. I didn't know what marriage was when I first got married. I'll tell you what. I know what marriage is now, motherfucker. I know what marriage is now, and that's why it works. I know you have to put time in it. When I first got married, you do the laundry, you cook, and I give you a check. And we fuck. I fuck you when I want. That's not marriage. When you're 25, you think that's marriage. You think that's marriage. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'll go out and work. I didn't think you had to pay attention or go to a date night or have to put time into them or, I can't do a spot tonight because I'm going to the movies with my wife. You have to put that time in if you want it to flip and work.
Yeah, you got to have an actual relationship. That's where it gets tricky. It's hard, it's hard to find someone that you enjoy talking to, that you enjoy being with. Not just doing stuff with, but just sitting alone and talking. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to find people that are on the same wavelength as you. It's hard to find people that want to talk about the things you want to talk about or want to, see things through your perspective and that you want to see things through their perspective, that you want to have these open, kind of honest conversations. It's not easy to find someone like that. These poor people that we all know that are on dating apps, especially smart women. I know a lot of smart women that cannot find a fucking man to save their life. And you look at it, you're like, I don't get it. Smart, ambitious, powerful woman, hot, can't find a man. It's hard out there. It's hard to find somebody that you sync with, that you could talk to. I think it's way easier for a dude to find a cool chick than it is for a girl to find a guy who's got his shit together. Maybe I'm just guessing. But I think it's probably harder.
There's a lot of single women out there that are fucking good looking, have jobs and shit. But we also know them like that too. That runs two ways, Joe. We didn't get that close to them that we didn't see what their idiosyncrasies were. Even with us, there's a bunch of women that look at you and go, "Oh, I'd love to be with him." And then they get with you and they're like, "This guy flies out of town every weekend. I can't be." You know what I'm saying? Like little things that they don't understand. Am I coming? No.
Well, have you ever had guys that you're friends with who back up off their comedy because they get a new girlfriend? And the new girlfriend's like, "I don't want you going out. I don't want you. You're doing sets every night. You don't have to do them every night." They're like, "But I do if I want to get better." That's how a baseball player has to go to the field and practice? Yeah, I have to go on stage. It's the same thing. You don't think about it that way because you don't do it, but you got to understand it's the same thing.
Well, when I dated the stripper, she didn't understand that.
She was awesome, by the way.
No, she wasn't awesome. She was
One
retarded.
you and her together were one of my favorite couples of all time.
Shit. She's still retarded.
I
she
loved
posted
it.
a picture of her boyfriend now. He's got black-eyed. I mean, she's a fucking nut. She's a fucking nut.
It was one of the reasons why I fell in love with you.
She's a millionaire now. She's a fucking gazillionaire.
Yeah, you told me.
She dates these fucking dudes.
Where'd she get all the money again?
First, when we broke up, she went to Florida, and she ended up marrying this old Hindu guy.
There you go.
He was 76. See? They lasted 3 months. He died.
Like what was I saying?
Left her his money.
There you go.
She took the money and invested in gyms. Curves. Bought 1, bought 2, bought 3, bought 4, became like
A mogul.
and then sold them all when they were still hot.
Wow.
And they went out of business.
Curves went out of business?
I think something. I don't know. They're not as popular as they were anymore.
Well, the whole idea was like, don't work out that hard. Like, you can keep your curves. Just come on in.
Oh, I thought it was a place just for women. That
no
women
one's
went.
ambitious
I thought it was
in
just for women. I didn't know what it was.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it is just a place for women. But you hear it like curves. You think of it as, when you say embrace your curves, yeah, definitely, sure. What are you saying though? What are you really saying? Are you saying embrace your curves? Are you saying don't work out that hard? What are you saying? Don't bother getting fit? What are you saying? I don't know what you're saying. You can't go there. You can't work out there.
No.
But you can never have a men only gym.
No.
Nah. If you had a men only gym,
It would be empty.
well, it wouldn't even matter. Like women would protest.
Half of these freaking humps go to the gym to see girls anyway.
Most of them.
Most of them do, so that's why it would be empty.
There's a lot of guys who go to the gym and they don't even get motivated unless girls are working out there. They want to look at them while they work out. Their yoga pants. It's very primal. You're like naked but covered up with like cloth, like paint. It's like paint cloth.
That little monkey sweating right there. Yoga pants. You're feeling like Trump. I'll grab that freaking monster.
I was with my friend Cameron Haynes in Boston. We were working out at this gym, and there was this girl that was, those hardcore gym girls? Those hardcore gym girls who just, I follow a couple of them on Instagram, and they do squats, and they're doing like, what a perfect example is that guy Kieran, who was here, Kieran Fitzgibbons. His wife's name is Jack Jessica. She's like a CrossFit champion, and she's just ridiculously fit. But those kind of like gym girls, don't they scare the fuck out of you a little bit? A little crazy.
I don't say nothing to them. I just walk right past them. There's a girl at the Y that does deadlifts, the whole fucking thing. She's brutal. She's fucking brutal.
Me and Cam Haynes were looking at her, and Cam was like, I want to be built like her. He goes, I wish I had her build. She was jacked. This lady was just doing squats and shit, and powder on her hands. She had big ass neck, deadlifts. Some women just embrace that. They love it. Now, if they were told they can't go to a gym because it's an all-male powerlifting gym, but the problem is, like, a girl goes to a gym and hits on guys, it's really not that big of a deal. But if a guy goes to an all-girl gym, starts hitting on the girls, that becomes gross. It becomes like harassment. Like you can't work out. It's just a different feeling. It's a different feeling for them to hit on us than it is for us to hit on them. It's not the same kind of danger. A guy hitting on a girl, there's like a certain element of danger involved in that. Right? The girl, like, if some crazy girl comes to the gym, she's like, yeah, how about I can give you a deadlift? You know what I mean? You wouldn't feel threatened. You'd be like, get out of here, crazy. Did I lose you?
But like, if you go to Crunch, like, say you go to those Hollywood gyms, Vian and all those, you see that the girls get ready an hour before they go to the gym. Makeup, the hat with the tail coming out.
'Cause they're trying to make an appearance.
The fucking color coordinated. I mean, they go to those gyms to get picked up. And the guys that go there, they go for action, too. When you go to the Y, it slows down a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
There's still a couple of women that go in there, they get a stab. And I see them all the time. They go in there with the little towels and the yoga pants, and they're mingling with the trainers and shit. But then you go to other gyms, and that's not even happening. It's just certain gyms call for that, man.
Yeah. You also recognize what a person's got going on physically. You see some girl doing one of them, those things, she got that butt bomb machine. You know that one? Like, they're sending out pheromones and shit, and they're showing you their shape, They got yoga pants on or shorts. Shorts are risky, especially when you're doing them kind of kicking maneuvers. If there's any sort of opening there and some things get pushed to the side and come flying out of the bottom of there. You got to be careful. It's a dangerous move. But you're seeing them exert. You're seeing them work hard. You're seeing them show their vitality, when they're lifting their And there's always like some dude helping him. Come on, one more. But she's not just doing that for him. She's doing that for other guys too. She's like putting out that scent, accelerating the game. The whole competition just ramps up a couple of notches while she's doing squats. Ass out, ridiculous. Squats. Deep. Clink. High fives the guys, walks around, makes eye contact with the audience. See who's checking her out hard.
There was a girl at the Y when I first started going to the one in Hollywood. Spanish girl. Torture. She wouldn't shave her armpits.
Whoa.
And the sweat would drip from her armpit. And here's where it gets better. She would always wear gray sweatpants, and she wouldn't wear underwear. So you could see the sweat from her monkey come right through the so she'd be walking up to you, and you'd see the wet thing.
Jesus
right
Christ.
her camel toe. She didn't give a fuck. She was hot and fuck, too. She was young. You know, I'm an old man. I wouldn't talk to her, but I'd see her in there talking to the different guys. But she'd be benching, and she'd open up her thighs, and that little swamp would just be fucking drenched with sweat. It was tremendous. I would look at her and shake my finger. This girl's, Hollywood, man. That's what happened. Listen, I went to Hollywood yesterday morning. I had to be there at lunchtime. And I'm driving, I'm in a light, and I see a black dude that he was 6 feet, weighed 120 pounds. That skinny. With a Clint Eastwood hat on from Fistful of Dollars, and the poncho from Clint Eastwood. And he was standing next to a big fat white dude with a beard like Jesus with sandals and Jamaican thing. And I said to myself, dog, I'm in Hollywood. This is it. This is it. It's fucking, this is what I'm going to see, you know?
You see that at the Comedy Store almost any night. Almost any night, you see that one dude dresses like Jesus?
Yeah, he
no
comes
explanation. One time he came by and he wasn't dressed like Jesus, I was disappointed. I've seen that guy 100 times, at least, dressed like Jesus. And then one time I saw him, he wasn't dressed like Jesus. I was like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? Like, once you commit to that outfit, right? Have you ever seen him without the Jesus outfit? Once, yeah.
He said he walks in there like Jesus is too, with his head down like they're pulling it from the back, and he's fucking...
It's interesting. I mean, he found something. Found his niche. I guess. There used to be a dude, you remember the guy who used to walk up and down the street with a cross on his back? No. He had a bunch of people behind him? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there was a dude who used to walk down the street with a cross. And sometimes people would carry the cross, and sometimes he would, like, strap it on his back. But he would walk down with a bunch of disciples, and they all had Bibles, and they would start, like, yelling out different quotes from the Bible, and they would tell them to people in the front patio. This is back before the front patio had a bar. Remember, the front patio was basically wasted space until the new administration came along. When did they open up the bar at the front patio? I don't know how many years ago. It's before I came back. But now it's a vibrant little bar.
It was always something. Remember, Corey had it. Mm-hmm. Princess Corey had it. But she opened it just so she could drink. That's it. I mean, she used to open it. She would walk away. People would be like, where's the bartender? You know, it was never really, they would break even every night. It would sell like 9 beers or something. Now it's a fucking bar, like you said.
Do you know they used to do shows there?
Where?
On that back patio. They had a stand-up show there. They would set up a mic out there.
When?
They did it a couple of years ago, apparently. But the neighbors complained. Before we came back, they would have, like, on open mic night, they would have a spill-out show where they would have an open mic night out there on the patio. But apparently people were just yelling out, "Cunt!" or something. You know, I mean, they're yelling into a microphone.
That's such a heavy fucking... You know, I was watching Almost Famous the other day. You ever watch Almost Famous?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Almost Famous was on. I was watching it, and they got to the part when they're at the hotel next door. And you see them crossing the street in the store. The lights are blinking at the store. It's supposed to be 1969.
Right.
What are they going to do with the store? Fucking put a board over it?
Right.
But that was the hotel. Like, that was a hot hotel.
When the store went from Ciro's to the store, was it closed down for a while?
I'm not sure.
Because the store was open in the 70s, right? I want to say 74.
Something like
that. Is that right?
72, 74.
72? 72.
72.
So but Ciro's was in, like, the Bugsy Siegel days, which was what? Wasn't that like the 1930s or something?
No.
20s? When was the Bugsy Siegel?
Maybe the 50s?
Yeah, it must be, right? Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis.
Cuba.
Right. Had to be the
Vegas.
50s.
It was Ciro's was closed in 1957, and then it was Rock and Roll Club in the 1960s.
Wow, what was that called?
I just had it on their page.
It's the best spot in Hollywood.
It doesn't say what it was called.
But it was
just says
because
first
once
discovered there.
you were just saying we were talking one day, and you said that there must be like a beam that shoots down to put all those people together at the Comedy Store. Well, if you look at that fucking Almost Famous, I mean, everybody stayed at that hotel next door. That was the spot where you just checked in when you weren't on tour.
Yeah.
We're not on tour this week. What do you want to do? Let's go to the Riot House and get fucked up for a week and a half, you know?
Yeah.
It's amazing how those two spots are next to each other. Like, they're so legendary, and they're next to each other.
I'd like to get some sort of fucking Native American medicine man to walk around that place and tell me what kind of spirits he senses. Just some
200 years of comedy, man.
200 years of comedy, of murders, the Bugsy Siegel days. Like how many people were whacked in that spot? The Rock days. How many people probably OD'd at a rock club in the 1960s and 70s before it became the store? How much craziness went on there?
Can you believe February 19th, on my birthday, I'll be at the store 20 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
20 years that place was in my life. Like, usually you hang out at a bar at your neighborhood, you go for like 4 years, then you graduate, you're done. You know those bars that you, let's go down to Bugsy's or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been going to the store for 20 years. Second time I got on stage, somebody came up to me and said, "Has Mitzi Shore seen you yet?" Like, I was always destined for the store. Like, I knew it. Like, I just knew it. And then the more I got into comedy over the years, people would say to me, "Has Mitzi seen you yet?" You know, she likes characters or whatever. But it's so weird. I've been there for 20 years.
We were talking the other day about how she used to call you Fat Baby.
Yeah.
That was your name on the lineup.
Fat
it would be
Baby.
Fat Baby.
Fat baby. Oh, it's my fat baby. And she would stick her finger in my stomach and go, "Tss," to let the air out. That's how cool Mr. Shaw was. "Oh, it's my fat baby. Sit over here next to me, fat baby. Let me see your stomach. Let me rub it." And then she would put the pin in it. 20 years. I went home the other night and I had to scratch my head a few times. Like 20 years. I've been doing this comedy shit for 20 years. First time I got on stage, did I fucking think I'd be here? 25 years later, did I think of stardom? I didn't think of anything. I just thought that finally I'm going to be able to do something with my life. Like, that's all I wanted to do, just something with my life, you know?
Yeah.
I was talking to my buddy, because ever since I shot the special, I've been thinking about 1993 a lot, like where I was in 1993. I was living in New York City.
Why 93?
Because
Specific.
that's when I made my transition. That's when I did comedy for 2 years the way I went to jiu-jitsu for 2 years. It was very erratic. I would go twice 1 week. 1 week I wouldn't go. Then I'd go 3 times 1 week, and then I wouldn't go for 2 weeks. It was very erratic. I didn't know how to really get my hands on it. But in 1993, I went to the city. I was broken from the divorce. I had nothing going on. I was broke, and I went home and lived with a friend of mine and just went around the city and did comedy. And I had no comprehension on what I was doing. And then one night I walked into the old Triple Inn. It used to be like a open mic that started at 11 and went till 2 or something in the city, 3 o'clock. And I went in there one night I had just finished driving a limo. And I dropped the guy off in Manhattan, and I go, "Let me go get a spot over there." And I went over there, and they said, "There's no spots tonight because Leguizamo was on stage." And he was working one of those one-man shows. This place was a fucking dive. Like, every time I'd walk in there, I'd think about my comedy career. Like, I got to figure something out because I'm not going to keep doing this. This place smelled like cigarette smoke. There were 7 people in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you first started to do comedy, you're waiting for the lights and for CBS to be there. CBS ain't going to be here. Why do I keep coming back here? And finally, one night I went there, I saw Leguizamo, and then I go, I get it. I get it. I thought I was too special. I'd have to do that, you know? Sorry, I ate fish. I got one of those fucking things.
We got like a piece of bone.
Yeah, something.
You got a fish bone in your shirt? You got to make me cough.
Sorry.
You okay?
Yeah.
Leguizamo was on stage. It was a dive.
And it really, I didn't know. I didn't know anything about comedy. I had read the Judy Carter book. I had read a couple books by that fucking writer that wrote for Lucille Ball.
Did you read Belzer's book?
Who?
Richard Belzer?
No,
He
no.
had a book on stand-up comedy.
I read the book by Lenny Bruce. Ladies and gentlemen, when he lived at the Chelsea Hotel and he fucking did heroin at night with jazz musicians.
Oh, yeah, that's a great
That
book.
put me over the top. But I thought stand-up was something that you became. I didn't know you had to work on it. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I thought that when people went up on stage to shoot a special, like Joe Rogan's here, tell them we got cameras. Really? All right, go tell them to go on stage. I thought when you shot a special, you just went up and talked for 30 minutes.
Right.
I didn't know there was any preparation. I didn't really have anything to go by. I went in there and I understand the process now. I think 3 months, not even, like a month later, I was back in Colorado. And I was determined to get on stage every night. This is what I was going to do. This is what I'm going for. This is how I'm going to do it, you know. These are the clubs I'm going to work. I had no idea what the fuck was. I would just go on stage loosely. I would write whatever I could and just go on stage loosely. I never knew that you built from that. I didn't know all these things. So I keep thinking about 93. I lived in a fucking room with my buddy who did heroin. I had one white shirt. I would sell cars on 11th Avenue down there, you know, New York City. I had one white shirt, and I would wear the same shirt every day. I would have to come home, jump in the shower, and I would wash my shirt in the shower. And I would hang it up, and then I would iron it every fucking day. You know, I was just a struggling open micer. You know, I was driving a limo some days. Some days I would sell cars. Some days I would pass out packages for AT&T and get $400 a week. I was just putting it together, man, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed so interesting. Like I had no illusions of grandeur, bro. I just wanted to do something in my life. I wasn't going to be Kevin Hart or fucking Bill Cosby or nothing. I just wanted to do something, you know. So this is why I keep thinking about how 23 years later, I shot a special, and it just goes back to what you did. You know, I wouldn't have to be at work till 10 some days, but I would take the 6 a.m. bus. Because if I took the 6 a.m. bus, my friend with the steroids, his father was a bus driver. He'd let me ride to the city for free. So I would take the 6 a.m. bus so I could save those $3. That's how fucking poor I was. Oof. And then to get home, I would fucking go into service. When I would sell cars, I would go into the service at 9 o'clock, and I would steal change from people's cars. That's how I got home. I would bring just enough money for lunch. Between rent, child support, clothes, reefer, cocaine, and I wasn't even doing a lot of coke then. If my buddies had it, I would have to do it because I was just trying to do comedy, you know. And you think about in the beginning what you really went through, you know, how you delivered papers, right? You delivered papers or whatever. And to see you now, it's such a big difference. But I never saw this. I never saw the tail end of this. I just wanted to do something, you know.
Yeah, when you see someone that's already doing comedy clubs and headlining places, and you're just starting out, it doesn't seem that far away. It's like, oh, all I need to do is just get an act together, and I could do what he's doing. How come I can't do it? And you think you can. And then it takes years. Like, somebody tried to tell me once that it took 10 years for you to become a real headliner. I'm like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I was headliner in 2 years. Get out of here. But it really does. It really does. Because there's something happens 10 years in, you know, or, you know, maybe you're smarter than me. Maybe it would only take you a couple, but for me, it was like 10 years in. I get a better understanding of what the fuck I'm doing. Like, oh, I kind of get it now. But you still don't see it the way you would see it if it wasn't you. If you know as much as you know about stand-up and you could watch yourself and not be you would be able to fix a lot of things with your act. But a lot of the things with your act, like, you kind of shield yourself because you're just trying to get it to work. You're just trying to put it together, you know? And a lot of times you're not even aware of how the joke is coming off to other people because you're doing it yourself. You're too caught up in the idea of delivering it to understand what it's like to receive it. And it takes a long time to figure it out. And still to this day, I fuck it up. To this day, especially when I'm working on new bits, because you got to take these weird chances with new bits. You got to, like, start premises maybe that you don't know where they're going and let it under pressure of stage sometimes come out. You know, especially like when you're working out at the store and trying to come up with new stuff. Under the pressure of being on stage, you can sort of, like, every now and then pop an idea through. Every now and then a new tagline comes through that makes you laugh, and a new moment comes through. And if you don't invest in those moments of doing those bits on stage, you never fucking know. And if you don't take those chances, if you just keep doing the same shit over and over again, you don't take those chances. You don't know whether or not you could go down those roads.
Dog, I didn't become a headliner until 18 years. That's when I felt comfortable headlining.
That's crazy.
I had 40 minutes of 6 years, 45 minutes. I love when guys look at you and go, well, I got an hour. The big difference in being a fucking headliner, my friend, okay? Yeah. This weekend, there's a great fight on the card. It's it's Pettis, whatever, Big Pettis against
Anthony Pettis versus Max Holloway.
Right. So you look at Max Holloway's 9 in a row, and hits hard, heart of a lion, crazy. Pettis has something called experience. He's been in there with Benson Henderson. He's been in there with some big names. He's been in championship fights when the lights matter and shit like that. That's called experience. That experience is so crucial. That experience is so crucial. At the store, I am very proud to be a store comic because of all those years of doing those late spites. So are you. I get myself out of any situation. When you're a plumber, when you're a roofer, okay? Every day the job is the same. You're going to roof. Why you're paying me $25 instead of $15 is because I know how to get around the problems. When you come to me and go, boss, the pipe there, I got to flash it and stop. This is a piece of cake. I'll just build a box around it. You follow me? It's the same thing with comedy. I knew I could do an hour, but I always felt like that Pennzoil commercial. You could either pay me now or you could pay me later. I love those motherfuckers that come out here and go, I was a headliner 4 years. I'm a regular at the store. You know what? They're going to get it at the store one night. They're going to get it. They're going to have to follow somebody who they're not ready for. And because they've only been doing comedy 6 years, it's going to hurt them a little more than it would hurt me and you. Dog, I know there's a 50-50 shot. Every day I write jokes, I prepare them, and I know I'm going to go up there and do the best I can. But sometimes that don't pan out the way, And sometimes there's a girl in there before you that's having a great night. Every other night she's bombed. Tonight, she blows up that place. And you got to go up there and figure a way around it. That's when experience fucks you up.
Yeah.
That's when you could blow up that room. And I'll tell you what, I may not be able to follow you, but I'll get a few laughs. Where 10 years ago, I wasn't getting anything because I was caught up in the lights. And let's keep it going for Joe one more time. Isn't he funny? And now you're dead.
You were worried.
But if you go up there and just run with that energy, it's experience in my world. I didn't make any big decisions till I could feel the difference on stage. Now, 25 years, you could do anything. You're John Jock Machado. You ever see John Jock roll? He talks to you.
Yeah.
He talks to Joe and rolls with me.
Yeah.
Answer the phone. Go, whatever. He doesn't even know because he's been doing it for 20 years.
Right.
I just saw a guy. Marcelo Garcia guy did a seminar, and he goes, for years, I just put myself in the half guard. He goes, I could feel anything you're going to do. He goes, even when you're going to pop that leg over to get away, he goes, I'll just catch you with this leg and put you, now I got your neck. It's amazing. I go, how'd you get that good? He goes, I put myself in half guard every day for 10 years. I know exactly what reaction you're going to do. It's called experience, Joe.
Yeah.
I never had the hard times I've had at the Comedy Store. When you're dying at a club and it's a feature headliner MC club, you have momentum to pick yourself back up. So if I go over there and pick up dive for 10 minutes, I could get onto something and gradually work them back. At the store, you don't have that grace. You have 15 minutes. And once you die at the store for 7 minutes, it's like the fucking Roman Coliseum. You're running with that. There ain't no getting back in the store. The store, I've never had a medium set at the store. I either do great or I fucking die. I die most of the time. But, you know what I'm saying to you? I mean, the store, there's no coming back. You don't have 20 minutes to work yourself out of this situation.
They also know there's a bunch of people coming next.
Who's
next? Who's next? What else we got to see? And sometimes you'll see someone that's they just, on a normal night, maybe their ideas would work, but tonight it's not going to work because there's just been too many different people on before them, and then it's just they've seen too much. Then that's one of those things where those late night spots are so important. I wonder if that exists in music too. I wonder if in music it helps the performers if they get occasionally a real small crowd. They have to sing for a crowd of 15, 20 people, I wonder if that lets you get in your own head better,
But we're to the point in our lives, especially those first 6 years at the Comedy Store, 12:45, you got to assume there's going to be 17 people in the audience.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. And you have to say something that they haven't heard if they sat there all night. They've heard everything. They've heard everything topical, and it would force you to go out of your realm. I love it. You know, when we were talking about specials, shooting specials. When I shot the first show, I died because I was too worried about my material. I really bought into Jerry Seinfeld. Then I remembered what the fuck I am the second show, and now you get it back.
Yeah.
There's so many different focuses. 25 years you shoot a special, and you're still fucking up. Come on, Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, dog, this is why I love this, because I learn something new every fucking day.
It's well, as long as you have new subjects to talk about, you're going to have new ideas, so you're going to have new bits, so you're going to have work to do. They're not going to be done. You know, they're not done right away. You got to go over them. You got to listen to recordings. There's a lot going on. It's weird in that, like, if you go to see the Rolling Stones, you want to hear Brown Sugar. You know, you want to hear Sympathy for the Devil. If I go to see you, I want to hear some new shit. You know, it's just the way it is for our business. But it's also so exciting. You know, I mean, it's such a fun thing to do.
Well, there's two trains of thought to this that are really interesting, because I did something this year that I knew I couldn't pull off. Like, there's no way.
What?
For me, I can only shoot a special every 18 months. Like my next special, once I looked at the product from the special, I knew that those jokes could have still had 6 more months of working on them. You follow me? Mm-hmm. That's the problem we have too. There's a joke I close with that I've been doing it now for 2 years, just because people say, hey, I came to see you didn't do that fucking joke. And I've noticed how good that joke has become. And every 2 weeks, I add a tag to that joke, even though it's still fucking old when I do it.
This is exactly what Tom Papa said on Monday. Exact same thing.
It bothers me to no end. You know, I put a CD out a couple of years ago, and I liked the bit I did, but that bit was not finished. I didn't know at the time.
Right.
I didn't know at the time.
Right.
It's ready. Fuck no, I've added 10 minutes to that bit in the last fucking year. Just because I liked it so much, there's something in there.
Yeah.
What the fuck did I do? I just let it go. So there's a train of thought there, and I didn't know this. Listen, when I come to see you every year, I want you to have 30 new minutes of material. Something had to happen in your life.
Yeah.
But what you're telling me is you can make that joke better. Run it by me. Let's see what else you added to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else you added to it. So, and that's what I'm going to continue to do now. Those jokes that I had from the special, guess what? I'll put them away now. But I'll bring them back in a year, and I'll add different tags. And even if every time you do a long set, just bring one bit back out of 6 and do it, they're going to strengthen.
Mm.
And one day you're going to be able to do 3 hours. I don't think know, but I'm just saying it's nice. Those bits are never done. That's a mistake I made on the first 2 albums. Those bits are never done.
But they're done sometimes, right? Sometimes you get to them when you're like, I don't even want to do this anymore.
Oh, no. When you're done, you're done. That's why I didn't call for spots this week. No, I'm done.
Really?
I went to Portland last week. I'm done. I'm done.
You just decided to take some time off.
You need
recharge.
You need to recharge. You need to rewrite. You need to do a couple things. You need to get... sometimes when you do too much comedy in a row, you go to stuff. I want to deprogram myself. You know, before the special, I didn't want to keep saying I'm coming on the feet. I didn't want to keep doing a jute. So I'd stop. Deprogram yourself. You got to break those bad habits. You got to break that habit. The only way to break that habit is to forget about it.
Right.
At least when it comes to comedy, you know, I want to forget about it, and I won't do it no more.
Right.
I had a lot of promotion this week. I had podcast. You know, I had a ton of shit. It's Christmas. I got to take it to the zoo at night for the fucking lights. You know. So I said, this is a great week to do it. But I've learned a lot, man, from shooting this that no special's ever done. That's why we want to hear. If you go see the Stones, you might be disappointed sometimes, because sometimes the Stones will play a song, it don't sound like what you were used to listening to it, because over the years they added this fucking whole thing on the road to it, which you'll never hear because you didn't go, you know.
Yeah, you definitely can hear that sometimes when people do live versions of something. They put a whole new twist to it, like that band Honey Honey. They do that all the time. They'll do a song, and then it's like it's a different version of a song that I've heard on their CD. I think going to see live bands is good for us too.
Excellent for us.
Yeah.
First of all, let's be honest. You know, the other day I was watching something. What was I? Oh, I was watching a video of Johnny Cash's. Okay, and I had to ask myself this question. I go, Joe Diaz, as a comedian, You're going to fucking tell me that a little bit of Johnny Cash isn't in me? That's how I wanted it. I wanted Johnny Cash. I wanted a little bit of the Allman Brothers, that dirty. I want you to know this could get dirty quick.
Yeah.
This could be quick. This could be 0 to 100 quick in this motherfucker. I want a little Leonard Skinner in my comedy. That singer, the way he looks at you. It's just a Saturday night splash. All my my comedy has Julius Erving in it. My comedy has Richard Pryor. You've got Lenny Bruce in it. Any band, I like the freaking thunder of Led Zeppelin. That thunder of Led. You watch Led Zeppelin from the Garden. There's no freaking lights or explosions or midgets running around. It's just 4 dirty white motherfuckers laying it on you. I like the freaking Led Zeppelin effect in my stand-up. It all mixes in there, but Johnny Cash is definitely in my stand-up.
For sure.
Definitely. Definitely.
Everything you've ever seen that's made you feel good gets in there.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Everything. Movies, everything. How much do you know about Rodney Dangerfield?
Half and half.
We were trying to figure out there's a bunch of different stories of the No Respect, like when he changed it to No Respect. Someone was telling me it was from a freaking movie, that a movie came out, and then after that movie, he started saying no respect. I don't care, no respect at all. That guy was awesome. I'm so glad I got to meet him. Apparently, he was still doing coke. He was like 7 years old. He was hanging out with this 40-year-old hot broad. Having a great time.
I got a call to go to a fucking audition one day. And I go, what am I reading for? And they go, you're reading for the new Rodney movie. I go down to the Sunset right by the tequila hut there before we hit the Comedy Store. There's that little tequila at that light there. 50 feet in. I went in there and I walked in the room. And who's in the room but Rodney Dangerfield, dog? This is the motherfucker I waited a year for to see. Easy Money. Because in my world, Easy Money is fucking tremendous.
Fuck yeah.
I don't drink. You just said it yourself. Joey don't drink. I took an 8-pack of Budweiser nips to see fucking Easy Money, okay?
What's a Budweiser nip, the smaller ones?
The 8-ounce ones. I was cracking the things and flicking it. I was having a good time at Rodney, okay? I walk into this room and here's Rodney Dangerfield. I'm going to read for Rodney Dangerfield. I get the things. How are you? Good to see you, whatever. I didn't overly, you're the reason why I'm here. I didn't say none of that shit. I just read, bro. And he goes, listen, I really like your read. The role you read for is already cast. But do me a favor, just show up. Did you know that, Joe? So he goes, just show up. He called the house. My wife answered. She was dating me. She goes, Rodney called here before. I go, what did he say? She goes, to go to Hollywood Studios tomorrow at 8 in the morning. I go, did I get the role? He didn't say. I called my agent. My agent goes, nah, he's going to find something for you. Just show up. That's how much he dug me. The 7 days I worked on this movie, dog.
Wow.
It's the worst movie of all time. Only Comedy Central airs it once a year, like at 4 in the morning. It's called Back by Midnight. I play JoJo.
Back by Midnight.
And we're all in prison. And we figure out that we break out at night and go steal the hardware store, supplies, and we got lounges. We got jacuzzis at the prison now. Every day I would have to go in, and then when I'd sign out, they go, no, you got to go see Rodney. So I have to walk into Rodney's trailer, knock on the door. He'd answer with flicking a robe on, naked. Come on in. And then he'd sign, and he'd go, all right, see you tomorrow at 8. And that was my job for 7 days, bro. He was old. He couldn't remember his lines. They had to read him the lines off camera, and then he would say the lines over again. But for me, it meant the world, man. That's right. In Dangerfield, man.
That's huge. Yeah, when you think about all-time influential figures, with his Rodney Dangerfield specials, he introduced the world to some of the greatest of all time.
Greatest. And not a lot of people would ever do something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of comedians would never do. Have you ever heard some of the backstories to that?
To the HBO specials?
Yeah.
No.
To the Rodney things, like how he got into it with. He got into it with what's his name? Because Dice wears leather jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Barry Sobel.
Right.
He stuck up for comics.
Right.
Like, I hate working at clubs where it's a comic-owned club, and they treat you like you ain't some dude from Missouri.
Right.
You're a comic. How can you treat me like this? Like, he really fought for comics, you know? And there was one story where Barry Sobel wanted to wear a leather jacket, and he kept arguing with him, and he goes, "Dog, you know Dice wears the leather. Knock it the fuck off. Go get a sweater." You know, like
That was sick, though, if you're Barry Sobel and you wore a leather jacket all the time.
I think he ended up wearing the leather in the special. I don't know if you
feel like he
remember.
did.
He did.
Didn't he have like a members-only jacket made out of leather? Or
Something. Just amazing when you're around those people. You know, when I was around Rodney that week, it was just fucking great. He told Paul Rodriguez, kept on doing impersonation of him. He goes, "Go ahead, do another impersonation. I'm going to fire you and replace you with George Lopez." He was so good the rest of the week. Rodney wasn't fucking around. He was still smoking dope. He was still smoking dope all day. Walk around the set with a joint in his hand. You got to love it.
Wow. Did you ever see when he was going on stage with a bathrobe on?
No.
He did a lot of shows where he was naked with a bathrobe on. When he'd go on stage in slippers, he would slide up to the stage, just can walk up to the microphone and do his entire hour with a fucking bathrobe on with nothing underneath. I was working as a security guard at Great Woods in Mansfield, Massachusetts. Great Woods is like the concert place. There's an outside amphitheater, and there's a covering of some part of the area is covered, and the back area is exposed. It's the lawn, and Rodney played there. You know, it's a big place. Like Bon Jovi played there. I saw Bill Cosby there. I saw Kinnison there, and Rodney. I didn't see. Man, Bill Cosby was there. I wasn't paying attention to him. He was there, and I didn't watch. Like, I saw him there, like he was there. I barely paid attention. I wasn't into what he was like. I thought of him as like a clean comedian.
Yeah,
you know?
me neither.
I was 19, you know. I was too crazy. But Rodney was in the back, and one of the guys who works for us goes, "Dude," he goes, "Rodney's back there. His balls are hanging out of his fucking bathroom. He doesn't give a shit.
He don't give a fuck.
He doesn't give a fuck." I go, "He's got no pants on. He's got nothing on." And I saw him walking around with the bathrobe. I remember seeing it. Remember looking down this hall towards the back area where the backstage is, and I'm seeing Rodney Dangerfield's green room, and he's walking around with his bathrobe. I'm like, that is fucking amazing. He would go on stage. I remember him going on stage. I remember him killing too.
They loved him.
Yeah.
We loved him. You know, he was an old man. I didn't give a fuck. Not to interrupt you. The other day I saw a thing on, somebody posted this. It was Frank Sinatra on The Tonight Show, and Don Rickles came on.
Oh, yeah? Did you torture him? Don Rickles was amazing.
Can you please see if you find Johnny
What year is
Carson.
it from?
Johnny, first off, Sinatra's so badass, bro.
Oh,
I don't
he's
give a fuck.
tremendous.
Listen, man. The dude, I watched those two things on HBO about him, and I fell in love with him. I don't care about all his behavior problems. I watched it. It meant that's a bad motherfucker, dog.
What behavior problems did he have? I don't know,
He just fucking didn't put up with this Gentile. Look at it. Watch this. Watch this, Joe Rogan.
Crank this up.
Yeah, crank this up. Look at
Look at
him
him.
with his boots on. And
He got boots.
look at him.